Hi guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So here to do another play with our collage in papers and are working with kind of more art kind of materials. So I just wanted to kind of show you, we did this one in the previous episode, or the, not episode, but the previous video that I did with the collage in. So this was the kind of pinky tones and I've scanned it in and this is what it came out in the scanned in version. So, you know, came out pretty well and doesn't look kind of too dissimilar. So that's that. I'm going to pop these to one side and we will kind of have a play with those probably in another video, because obviously this turned out to be pretty long-winded process. So if you recall, we watercoloured our background paper. I'm just going to move this tree out of the way. Watercoloured the background paper, and then we just kind of stamped random images around on it. If I just show you kind of what I've got left of the kind of pinky toned ones. So that was what we did with that. And we did this one obviously in the blues and the greens, which we haven't come to yet. So again, I've brought along a bunch of stamps, you know, that I thought we could kind of just stamp randomly on here, so that I've got a variety of things to be able to use in my collage. And obviously if you're joining me for the first time and you didn't kind of see the previous episode, I'm using stamps because basically, you know, I cannot draw. So unfortunately, you know, I would love to be able to kind of draw beautiful, amazing things. I just can't. So I wanted to kind of have that kind of, what's the word? Like that kind of creative, kind of arty day, or that arty experience, but obviously I wanted it to look half decent, and if I'd have drawn, it wouldn't have done. So I've got the same sort of colours that I had in my last video. I have just obviously removed the pink because I don't really want to kind of have pink. So I've brought along the variety of kind of greens and blue shades. I've also got some black, and I've got some of the olive greens dazed on as well. So I'm just going to literally, oh, there's that word already. I've only just started. Get stamping around the page. Now, I have a memory like a sieve, so I already can't really remember kind of which colours, you know, how they came out. So I'm just going to check them out, seeing how they look. Right. This stamp doesn't seem to be kind of picking up the ink particularly well, so it might be that this one would be better being stamped with a stays on. So I'm just going to try that. I'll just get another blank sheet. Right, that looks a bit better. So that looks better, doesn't it? So just do one more. That's much better. So, you know, I'm randomly going to stamp these, not going to kind of really pay an awful lot of attention to where I'm stamping them, because effectively when we do the collage, you know, I'm going to be just tearing these out anyway. So, you know, it doesn't hugely matter kind of where they go. So that's that one. And actually what I might do is start putting the stamps away as I go, so that I'm just creating a little bit more room on my desk, because otherwise it gets pretty chocker pretty quickly. So I've now got this butterfly stamp. So again, what I'll do, I just stamp it first with the stays on. I haven't used this stamp for a really long time, so it's quite kind of dry. There we go. So what I might do is kind of, again, like we did on the pink kind of paper, is just mix in a couple of colours to see how that kind of looks. So if we mix in the kind of blue and the green, I really like the effect that that kind of gives. So just kind of, right. So making sure that we've got plenty of ink on there. and again, just going to stamp that down. So again, I'm going to pop that one away straight away, so it's not cluttering up the desk. I've got this one of a bird, so again, I'm just going to do it first with the stays on, because then that kind of, you know, wets the stamp slightly. Right, so perhaps we'll add a bit of green like that. Oh, he looks nice, doesn't he? So I just do that again here. So I just ink him all over with the stays on, and then just kind of going over just his wings really. And again, we're just going to stamp him here. Like that. Oops. Very messy stamping there, but I mean, I can always kind of tear him around so you kind of don't really see that. So it's not kind of too much of a problem. Now I've got this butterfly stamp, which I absolutely love this butterfly, but this does not seem to come out very well at all. So I've had it mounted on a huge block ever since I bought it really, which was several years ago, probably a good five years ago. And I've taken it off the block now to see whether I get a better image. Because on the block, it's very hard to get the middle section stamped. So I'll just kind of turn this. Let me get another piece of scrap paper. Bear with me. Just take that there and see whether we can get a better image without him being actually mounted on. Yeah, he's coming out better without being mounted on a block, strangely enough. So again, I'm just going to kind of press him in there. Then I might just add a little bit of this bright blue. And again, I don't know how well this will work, but maybe kind of press into the middle of it. So we just press this down. Oh, this one's not come out at all nicely. So that's a bit of a shame, isn't it? So let's try taking the ink to the stamp. It's one of those stamps that's kind of very sticky, would be the word I would use. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of got a very sticky feel to it. And I just think sometimes they don't necessarily stamp that brilliantly when they're like that. They don't seem to want to pick up the ink particularly well. Right, let's press around him a bit more. Well, he's come out slightly better. I have to say, still not brilliant, but he will do. Because, I mean, once he's on the collage, he will be, you know, it will be mixed in anyway, and you won't really notice. I've also got this little bird, so just going to see what he looks like. He's quite sweet, isn't he? So, and again, and actually I might just add a bit of this. Oh, that's nice. So I'm just mixing the two colours because it kind of dulls down that emerald green slightly more. So he looks really nice on there. So that's that one. I should put him away. And then I've got a little clock. This is, I think, one of those Tim Holtz tiny things. Clocks. Actually, let's see how that looks with a bit of blue. That looks nice, doesn't it? So I'm just going to mix that in with that. Just pop that on there. Okay, we can pop that one away. And then I'm just going to stamp a couple of bits of the script because that did come in quite useful. So I'm just going to stamp it here, kind of next to each other, and then we've got options to kind of tear bigger parts of it. And actually what I'm going to do is, you know where I mucked up that stamping where that bird was? Just going to kind of stamp a bit of script there. And then you don't really notice where I obviously did that messy stamping. So I had kind of gone over the edge there, but once the script is on, you can't really kind of notice that. So just a kind of bit of a cheaty way of disguising my, you know, scruffy stamping really. Might just have a couple of those butterflies. Oops. Perhaps we'll do them in blue completely. So look, perhaps the blue and the green. Oh, they're nice, aren't they? Just pop them here. They're pretty. Pop that out of the way. And I've also got a different style bird cage. We used a bird cage on the last one. This is a slightly different one. So again, I'll just show you this on the white paper. It's a really nice one, isn't it? And I'll just stamp that just in the green stays on. I'm going to pop that down here, I think. Oh, I love that. And you can see the blue kind of just coming through behind it. So that looks really pretty. So I'll just shut my cupboard where those stamps came from. And then I've got this stamp, which I really love this stamp, and I can't remember, might have been a Prima one, and I'd really liked it for a really long time. It was in a set, and I've used it so much, I have to say. I've never mounted it. I don't think I've hardly ever actually stamped the whole stamp. I tend to just kind of take the top and stamp the top. But isn't that gorgeous? So I'm just going to kind of roughly stamp that top bit, just somewhere here. Actually, I might do it on the blue. So let me tidy up a little bit. I'm oops, crushed olive. I think that's that one. I'm getting mess everywhere on my desk. I mean, my desk is messy. I can't pretend it's not. But it's getting even messier. So I'm just going to kind of tidy up a little bit, because otherwise I'm actually running out of room to even work. So, right. So again, I don't know when I'll upload the videos, because, you know, and I know that I'm constantly repeating myself, but I'm really trying to kind of get ahead of doing them. But, oh, it sounds like we're in for a really nice weekend. So apparently it's going to get right up to 24 degrees, allegedly, on Saturday. And it's obviously Easter coming up this weekend. And it's a bank holiday here in the UK. I don't know whether it is kind of in other places, but... And it's bank holiday for the Good Friday and the Easter Monday. So that's really nice. Everyone will be at home, you know, for the Friday and the Monday, which is lovely. I do love those long weekends, I have to say. Although I've then got a really kind of busy time coming up at work, so that's not so fun. Which is another reason why I'm trying to get really ahead of the game with all the videos, because I know that I'm not going to be able to do any for a few days. So I'm trying to kind of get a whole bunch kind of, you know, I'll just try this colour out. I'm trying to get a whole bunch of videos done, so I've got plenty to upload, or, you know, just release kind of whilst I'm busy kind of at work. and not able to do any, because I don't want to kind of neglect my channel. But it's quite hard because you think, oh, I've, you know, got tons of videos in the bank kind of thing. And then actually you only need literally kind of 4 days of, you know, busy days. And straight away you're actually kind of falling behind already. So it really doesn't take very long, you know, for it to already kind of, you know, you haven't got as many videos as you think. So that's a bit of a shame. Right, I've also got this sentiment stamp here. Cherish yesterday, live today and dream for tomorrow. Really love this stamp. So I might stamp this kind of over there as well, because this might be quite nice on the collage page. So let's have a look. I think this one's quite nice for greetings cards and things as well. Although, having said that, I have used it, you know, in a few journals because it is really lovely. So, you know, what a nice sentiment. So, right. Just going to kind of stamp it, I think, over here. Actually, I might stamp it up here. I'll put it this way round. There we go. And then I've just got this space here where I don't know quite what to put in that space. So just having a quick rummage through my desk to see what I've got here. So what I might do is actually just stamp some scrolly kind of patterns. So got this one that I've used endlessly on my journals. So I'm sure, you know, you've all kind of seen me use this before. But I might just kind of fill this space with a bit of that. So probably take this whole area here. So let me just see how that looks in the green. And also this is another stamp that kind of, it's best to stamp it a couple of times to get it to really soak the ink in. So I'm just going to kind of, you know, muck about with it a bit on the plain paper. But I just absolutely love these swirly kind of patterns. It's just so gorgeous, isn't it? Just check how it looks like that. Kind of mixing the colours. I mean, actually, you can't really see the blue too much, but we'll just kind of pop it on like that. And then pop the lid on that one. Put it straight in the drawer so as I've got a bit more space. And then I'm just going to ink up a little bit of the blue over the top. And then I might, I was going to say I might just cover up some bits so as I don't miss stamp, but actually I don't think I really need to, because I can see really easily kind of where everything is. So I'm just going to kind of use my blank block to help press that down. Like that. Ta-da! Oh, it's a bit smudgy, unfortunately, after all that. But to be honest, you know, again, I don't think that will really kind of matter too much once we kind of get started. So that's those. So I'm just going to pop the stamps out of the way. Pop these away in here. So again, I mean, if you recall yesterday, we had a few disasters with when I was trying to kind of do the painting. But, you know, I won't be deterred. So let's try again. So maybe try and kind of fill in this butterfly, because this one's not particularly come out very successfully anyway. So what I'm going to do is, again, take some of my watercolour pencils. And again, if I just kind of tip them out a little bit, so as I can just get to some colours. So if I take these colours here, and I think the best method definitely seemed to be kind of colour them in here on the kind of blank page, and then pick up, you know, pick up the kind of colour from there. So just going to kind of colour around. Oops, I've used that one already. Like that. Now this again is where I talked about it yesterday, or you know, when well, it was yesterday to me, but I don't know whether it will be when I upload the video. But Artie Mays, and she kind of is very adventurous and kind of mixing completely other colours. So this is where she would add maybe a pink or something like that. Maybe I will try and be a bit adventurous and do some sort of yellow, I don't know. Because I mean, her effects just look so gorgeous and really, really lovely. But I'm not sure that I'm quite that creative. So, right, I've got my pot of water to the side. So I'm just going to pick up a bit of green, which looks really nice. I'm just going to mix it with the blue. That looks nice. So I'm just going to kind of paint his body a bit more, kind of fill that in. And then just maybe mix those two greens. Kind of just maybe the two blues. Some blue down there. I mean, he does look a bit better so far, but I may ruin him yet, like I ruined that flower yesterday, which I don't think there's any coming back from that, I have to say. But probably lots of you are much more creative than me and kind of much more experienced in these kinds of things, and maybe have got some awesome ideas as to how to salvage that. So if I get time at the end of this video, I'll kind of show the flower again, and you know, maybe kind of you could leave some suggestions for what to do. But doesn't that look pretty so far? Let's hope I don't muck him up. So, and I'm just going around now really lightly with these bits because, you know, I really don't want to kind of muck him up. So there we go. I just fill him in a bit there. So, you know, even though I didn't kind of stamp properly there, I mean, I don't think that matters too much. So I'll just pick him up so as you can see. He just looks really pretty, doesn't he? Obviously, compared to this one, which is just the stamping. I prefer the filled in one. I don't know about you guys, but, you know, definitely I think he looks prettier. So let's have a look and see if we kind of mixed in a bit of yellow with that green. Maybe try and paint him a bit. Not sure about that now. Not sure. Now you see, this is where obviously, you know, on Artie Mays' video, she just said, oh, you just go for it, and you know, if you don't like it, you can just cover it up or paint over it. I'm not very good at kind of doing that, so this is kind of quite a good process, I guess, to go through to try and kind of become a little bit braver. Okay. Just fill in his body. Just going to cover that green, yellow up, sorry, with a bit of blue, I think, because I'm not loving the yellow. Right. So that's him. So I'm going to kind of leave it there for the moment. Just move my brushes out of the way. And let's get on and do a bit of collaging, because obviously I'm aware that that took forever in the previous video. I'm hoping I'm going to be slightly quicker today, but who knows if I'm truthful. So again, I'm just taking a blank sheet, it's just a scrap, you know, from where I've been kind of printing previously. So I'm just going to take blank sheet there, and then we're just going to kind of get started. So I've brought along some scraps with me, whoops, just to get using. So I've got some book page, obviously I've got some sheet music here, and then I've got some bits from my Gypsy Rose kit, which I just thought would be really nice with this kind of green collage kind of theme. So let's just get popping things down before we kind of end up overthinking. Now I'm beginning to think that my pieces that I used yesterday, or in, you know, maybe to you guys, maybe just the last video, if I start referring to it as yesterday, were maybe too small, and that's why it obviously took endless amounts of time filling it in. So I'm just kind of tear around that butterfly. Maybe I should kind of try and have slightly bigger pieces this time, because you know, maybe it won't be quite so time consuming then to kind of fill the space. And I'm going to really try not to think about it so much today. So again, just going to kind of just roughly kind of fussy tear the page like that. Right, let's move on to our fun bits that we've kind of stamped. So I love this bird here, even though I did make a bit of a mess of stamping him. I just think he'll look really nice on that page. So I'm going to pop him down. Now this butterfly's still a little bit wet, obviously, because I've only just painted him, but let's have him there as well. So again, just going to kind of tear very roughly around him. Like that. And then I might have the sentiment, which I've now torn the little tail off of the W, but never mind. So maybe have that. So that's our kind of pieces that we've just kind of made. So if we're having that butterfly up there, then it doesn't matter that he's got that straight edge here. So just pop him up there. Then I could have that kind of going there. Oh, I quite like that already. Perhaps we'll have a bit more kind of book page down here. Maybe the butterfly here. And also I brought along little bits of postcard. These are also from the Gypsy Rose kit, but I just thought the colours on here would be just brilliant for this. So I might just tear a tiny piece just to kind of fill that space down there. Like that. So I'm quite liking that. So I'm going to glue some of these bits down right now before I can chop and change my mind, because it would very fast turn into kind of deliberation, you know, and mucking about like we did last time. So just going to glue these bits down. There we go. And I do notice again, and I've said this before, that other people do use the glue sticks. And I know that I've kind of said this before as well, but I just don't have any faith in those glue sticks. I mean, I haven't used one for a really long time. But, you know, certainly in my memory, they were awful. You know, they kind of appear that they glue things down, and then 10 minutes later, you know, or certainly 2 days later, your stuff's all dropping off the page. So I don't know whether they've really vastly improved, and maybe it's time that I kind of give them a try again. But what do you guys think? You know, I'd love to hear your thoughts below on what you think to glue sticks, whether they have improved over the years or whether they're still appalling. I mean, I can see that they're obviously they are kind of the better thing to use for kind of collaging, you know, but they're not better obviously if then your stuff all drops off kind of a couple of days later, but you know, who knows. So I'll pop this one on here. So as I'm filming this, it's still the school holidays, and tomorrow is going to be Good Friday. So we're going to go to the beach later. My eldest son, he's 16. So he's been working quite a bit during the holidays, obviously, you know, with his like weekend job, but he obviously gets extra shifts, you know, kind of during the holidays. So he's been working a fair bit, but he's got the day off today. And because the weather's going to be slightly nicer, I mean, I'm meaning slightly nicer for us here in the UK. So everyone's voted for the beach. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So the beach is about 8 miles from where we live. Well, we're quite lucky. We've got a couple of different beaches that we could go to. We've got a lovely beach that's kind of very sandy, nice beach. And then we've got another beach which is more like a stony beach. They're both nice in their own way. The stony beach is kind of nicer because it doesn't get so busy. I mean, obviously it's not going to be that busy today because, you know, the temperature really is only going to be about 20 today. But I mean, certainly in the summer, on a very hot day, the sandy beach just gets awful, you know, and you can't see where the children are and things like that. So it's then kind of, you know, not a great experience because you're obviously spending your whole time terrified of not being able to see the children because it's so packed. Whereas, you know, on a kind of quieter day, then the sandy beach is fine. So hopefully today it would just be quite quiet there. But, you know, you can have a nice time, can't you, on the beach, even if it's, you know, kind of chilly. So today we'll obviously just wear kind of jumpers and things, but we'll have a nice time there. So I've got those. Now, I've also got this, which is just, what do you call this stuff? Manuscript kind of paper. So I thought this would be kind of quite cool on here. So I'm just going to kind of tear around that and place that somewhere down. Like that. There we go. Yeah, they're kind of quite fun, these collages. They're quite addictive. So I think I might be, you know, I might be going to do some more, but definitely it's kind of a bit of a test in, you know, not overthinking things, which, you know, is an area I do struggle with. So this is quite a good kind of experiment, I guess, or quite a good kind of thing for me to do to try and stop myself from overthinking things. So we've got obviously more sheet music, and as I said, I'm trying to do things in much bigger pieces because I think, you know, part of why it took so long with the last one was because I was using such tiny pieces. So, you know, I'm hoping that this is going to be a bit more successful. So I've got this piece here. Now, is that too bright green, do you think? Let's just have a look before I actually commit and kind of pop him down. So, well, let's pop these bits down so they're not constantly moving around. I want that under or over. You see, even though I say I'm not going to overthink this, I'm just going to kind of go with the flow, roll with it, I just can't quite do that. So I'm trying to be really fast, you know, because I don't know how interesting it would have been for you all watching that last one, to be honest. But I mean, hopefully kind of I've brought a little bit to the table for those people who, like me, can't necessarily draw kind of, you know, freehand, but want to get a bit kind of arty, you know, in the, like the methods, I suppose, that you'd be using, you know, because it's quite fun to kind of do, you know, more, I don't know, getting your paints out and kind of, you know, things like that, isn't it? So the next piece I'm going to stick down is this one. So this one's been coffee dyed, and it's kind of a little bit thicker than some of the other pieces that I've popped on here. So just pop that down like that. Oops. Like that. So, and this is quite nice because this is obviously very different to the one that we did with the pink shades, which was very flowery, and you know, this one is obviously much less flowery and much more kind of nature type based. So I'm just going to open a different glue because that one was not very cooperative. So I just, oh no, now this one's not either. Oh, don't you just hate it when kind of these things happen when you're doing a video? And I'd kept my pin just stuck in here all the time, hoping it was going to kind of prevent this type of thing. But I think I've said before, I mean, sometimes these glues just are better than others. So these just seem like not a particularly good batch. So there we go. Very annoying this is. Oops, that was a piece of now hot glue dropped off of the bottle where it had been next to the hot glue gun. Oops. Now you see, this is where obviously the glue sticks are much better, because then I wouldn't be having this problem, would I? So let's pop that there. Okay. And then I'm just going to pop down this piece here. There, like that. Okay, now I'm not going to stick that butterfly down just yet because I just want to kind of make sure that I don't want something tucking under it. So here, now I don't really want the trunk on here, so I'm just going to kind of tear around that bit of postcard there, but tearing the trunk off, get rid of that kind of raw edge. I have got a bit of raw edge here, but I thought that looked quite nice up there. So again, let's have a bit of a look here. So we could have that down there maybe. Not sure I'm loving the sentiment here. So I might get rid of that. I'll put that to one side. Might go for this one here instead. So again, let's just kind of tear that out. I wonder if we could have this bird as well, because I do love this stamped image. So I'll just tear around that a bit more so as we've not got quite so much of a kind of empty space around the edge. Like that. Oops. So we could have this maybe under there. No, I don't like it there, because then it's kind of like two stamped images kind of next to each other up there. So that for me wasn't looking so good. So what about if we have it kind of more, let's have a look. You can have that there. I've got this little bird now. So that's looking quite nice, I think. So might just tear around here so as we've not got the kind of square edge. So I might pop that down, and then we've kind of committed to that one. Oh, I'd forgotten that I hadn't glued the sheet music down, so let me just quickly pop that down. Let's pop that down there, and we'll pop this piece down here, like that. Okay, so that looks quite nice, doesn't it? And then here, on that piece there. So again, I might just tear down this edge. I don't really like the straight edges that much. It's kind of nicer to have the torn edges, isn't it? So we've got that like that. So if I just tear along this top bit as well. Maybe have that there. I can't decide about this bird, whether or not I actually want that bird there, or, you know, on here at all. Actually, he's quite nice down there. So let's have a look and see whether we could pop some book page here, I think. So I might tear across that edge there. Oh, it's so annoying, isn't it? Because I tear it off and then it's too small to actually go right to the bottom of the page. So let's see. Nope, I've done it again. Let's have a look at this one. So, right. So if we had that one there, let's turn it down that way. Oops, like that. And then we have the butterfly here. Then we could have the bird here. So it's beginning to come together now a bit better. That there. And then I've got a bit more of the manuscript page, which we could just kind of have here filled in down there. So let's tear that off so we've got a kind of rough edge there. And down that one. So first things first, I'm going to stick this book page down. Like that. Look. Then I'm going to pop this manuscript here. Like that. I'm going to have the butterfly there. And then pop the bird here. So let's commit to that and pop the butterfly down. Like that. we go. Then we can have that bird there. So I'm just going to kind of have a look. Now I've also got this tag here, which has obviously got this green. So I might just tear some of that. And just tear it around. So we don't have those tag shaped edges, which would be a bit strange, wouldn't it? So I just kind of have that. Maybe it would be better like that. And then I just tear this other postcard down. Probably have that in there again. Oops. Like that. I'll just get rid of that straight edge. Oops. Like that. And then obviously I need to cover up this hole. So, I mean, again, we could actually just pop some book page in there, to be honest. Might be quite nice. That's quite nice, I think. What does everybody else think? I quite like how that looks. Right, let's commit to that. So I'm going to just glue this. I don't know what that was that just went flicking off of the glue, but something else had obviously kind of just gone on there. So, right, that one's down. I'm just going to pop the book page down. Like that. I'm going to have this one here, like that. I don't know whether I'm necessarily in frame at that top bit of the page, so I apologise for that. Right, and we've just got this corner down here, so I'll just double check that I wouldn't prefer to have it kind of that way round. We're going to pop that bird there. We're going to pop that down there. What does everybody think? Do you prefer it that way round or that way round? Or would we prefer kind of a bit of manuscript instead? No, I quite like the busier piece, I think, but maybe, what do you think? Maybe like that. With the raw edge or without? I think probably without, because we've got the raw edge here. So I'll just tear that off and see how that looks. We might have that one going right down the bottom like that. Right, I'm liking how that looks, so I'm going to pop this one on here. Just down there like that. And then I'm just going to pop this one on here. Down like that. And then I'm going to have this one right down the bottom, because I think he's quite nice there. And then that bird there in the middle. So just pop him down there. Now, I mean, that to me looks really quite nice. It did also bring along another bird to fussy cut out, but I'm not sure how he'll look on there. So let's just very quickly fussy cut around him. I say very quickly, I've picked a particularly fussy bird here, so with lots of leaves and things, so he's not being cut out very quickly. Come on. Well, I mean, hopefully I have done this in much quicker time than yesterday, because the previous video, I think, worked out when I joined them all together, and I just had to edit out a couple of bits where I obviously had been flicking on and off watching the children. I think it worked out about 1 hour 20 minutes or something. It was huge. So I mean, hopefully this is considerably shorter than that. Let me see, up to 51 minutes so far, so we're a good half an hour less than yesterday, so that's quite good, isn't it? Oh, come on. Right. So that's the bird there. So what do we think? Let me just trim off the edges of the page so that it looks kind of a bit neater, because otherwise I guess it's a bit hard to tell what things look like if we've got kind of all scruffy edges hanging off. So I just trim down those. Come on. It's got that little bit there. There we go. Right. Let me just get rid of the rubbish pieces. Come on. Right. Some of them are sticking to me because they've still got kind of glue on them, but right, so there's our collage page. Really like it. It looks really pretty. Now I've kind of trimmed off the scruffy edges. Let me zoom out a little bit. Now I've cut off the, you know, scruffy edges. I really do like it. So do we think it needs a little bird on there? I quite like that. Just take it away. Yeah, I quite like the bird on there. The bird adds a little bit of colour, because otherwise it was a little bit kind of you know, same colours, wasn't it? So, I mean, again, obviously this is where those kind of Pritt stick type glue sticks would be better, or even Mod Podge actually would have been better, but it doesn't really matter. So there we go. Just got some tissue here to just dab off any excess glue that might be coming out. There we go. So really cute. I really like how that turned out. So I will obviously kind of scan that in, because obviously we scanned in the last one and, you know, look really pretty scanned in. So that's the two that we've made in these two kind of, well, not really episodes, but videos. Really like them. I'm not sure now which one I prefer actually. I like them both really quite a lot. So I'm going to scan it in and things, and then hopefully be back for another video where we'll have a bit of a play and kind of do some things with our kind of collage page. I mean, already I've got kind of scraps of lace just screaming out at me. So yeah, I will see you again next time. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, bye.